I don't have to fucking clean his dirty dishes. I don't have to see his fucking pube hairs all over the bathroom.
I just see him succeed.
He's this polished. He's wearing like nice work clothes or whatever. He's always shaven. He always smells good. I'm not getting the fucking farting on a Saturday afternoon. Everyone, welcome back to Big Mood.
Hi.
Today,
Hello.
We have the regular standard crew. Myself, Jessica.
I am regular Nikki.
Just plain old Gina.
And I'm Tiff.
All right, we have pregnant Tiff. We still have pregnant Tiff.
Still pregnant, but very tiny belly. By the time you see this, I should be a lot bigger.
Like double the size.
But we filmed these in advance, so
Wait, when's due date again?
due date's February 25th.
Oh,
Tomorrow's Isaac's birthday, by the way. Okay.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
He is a full-on teenager.
14.
Oh, that's weird.
Shut up.
Jesus.
No.
That
No, I
is so
refuse.
creepy
I
that you
refuse.
have a 14-year-old.
So weird.
Gross.
Well, today I wanted to talk about workplace affairs because, you know, I recently started working. Gina has a 9-to-5 now. So
You guys are fantasizing.
we're
about some workplace
fantasizing about
affairs?
some hotties in the office.
I work with a bunch of nerds, man.
I know. Yeah.
They can be affairs.
You have there's
You
a
can be
cute,
hot nerds.
There's a cute guy in your office.
I met my husband through work, working with him.
Yeah.
And he is a nerd.
Yeah.
And he's pretty nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, no, I'm kidding though. Like, I'm not trying to glorify workplace affairs, but I did want to talk about it because I found an article on the psychology of workplace affairs and I wanted to kind of dig in a little. And then also I found this other article about cheating and like how to deal with cheating, like with your partner, like what not to say. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So,
What not to say?
Yeah.
Like if you cheat?
yeah.
That's weird.
What? Like how to get away with cheating?
No, not how to get away with
Okay.
it, but like a common thing that people say when they bring their cheating revelation to their partner that's actually more damaging.
Oh,
But that'll be like later in the
Wait, I'm
episode,
still
so
lost.
stick around.
Like, if you're going to admit to cheating, these are things you shouldn't say because it'll make it a lot
Oh, I
worse
see, I
for
see, I
you.
see, I
or
see.
this is not a way to
Here's
handle
how
it.
not to die when
Yeah.
you tell your
Yeah,
partner
pretty
that you
much.
cheated on them.
Where it's like, so I had to cheat because our sex life was so
Yes.
whack.
So what happened was I was all like this, and
She
then
fell.
They fell on me. At some,
He fell right at me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
like, no, stop.
yeah.
Yeah, then I
But
know
anyway.
there were people too that were interested in hearing us talk about like work husbands or like
Yeah.
work
That kind of
Okay. Well, we can
relationship.
kind
Yeah.
of
touch on that
We can
too a
touch on
little
that
bit.
too a little bit. Firstly, because I guess that kind of leads into like how you get to cheating.
Yeah, and why your partner might be jealous, and then the other partner that has the work husband's like, don't worry about it, but then they should have been worried about it.
So
All along.
I guess I kind of have a little bit of an experience with this because I felt like I kind of had a work husband, but he wasn't really because he was also actually married, and I would never specifically pick a married man to cheat with, but I just felt like I was so close to this person because we worked together on all of our jobs.
Yeah.
And like we would have so much fun on all of our jobs too, and I kind of felt like when I knew that I was going to be placed on a job with him,
You're
that I
kind
would
of
be
excited.
excited. Yeah, I was like,
Yes.
yeah, this is going to be fun. But there was a point where I realized I was like, oh yeah, he is married. Like he is married. So I would have to keep sometimes reminding myself that he is married. Like you can't
Do you
think about him in any other way.
But do you think that's bad to have a crush on someone? Like, because I don't know. I'm torn about that.
No, but if you can't control yourself,
controlling
you need to
it.
know yourself.
Exactly. I mean, like, obviously, you're not going to go try to have sex with him. I mean,
No.
that's fucked up. But then, but like having a crush, like getting excited to see someone is like, sometimes I have that with girls too. I mean, there's a little bit more with a guy because
Yeah.
there's like this chemistry. But I mean, it probably is what you're feeling is chemistry.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm mixed on how I feel about that. Like, I don't know if I necessarily think it's bad.
Like, because knowing that you're never going to act on it.
Yeah.
Or allow anything to cross a line, I guess is like, it's nice to have people you're excited to work with or be around.
When you talk about being excited and like being around,
Yeah.
is that the same thing? And then like to label them as a work husband.
I don't think I would ever say that out loud.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not.
yeah. But like to yourself.
Yeah.
But like, does there need to be a level of like attractedness, like that you're physically attracted to them?
I
Like,
would say probably.
in another world you would sleep with
Probably
this person?
that's how I kind of felt because I thought like to myself with my quote unquote fake work husband that he never knew I felt this way about him. That like I was attracted to. Like I remember one time I actually had a sex dream about him.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, I wake up and I have to like wash my fucking eyeballs out and then like, you know, say the fucking Hail Mary and like let that shit go, because it's like absolutely never territory.
But I feel like you can't help the feeling part. You can help the action part.
Absolutely.
Like, and not you be that person. But the feeling part, I don't feel like I can help it. Like, I know that before Steve and I were together, we were both in serious relationships, and when we're in relationships, we have like blinders on, like we're not attracted. But when you're acting with people, I mean, maybe the entertainment industry is different, but like we would play boyfriend and girlfriend sometimes. And when you're acting with someone, and this happened in other movies and stuff that I've been worked on too, but when I'm acting as their girlfriend, you have to create in your brain a whole history like that you guys are a couple and like make it real. And sometimes there is chemistry there. And then it makes work easier, and it's exciting to go there, and you guys have the good banter. And with Steve and I, we always had great banter, like no matter what. And I didn't think of him as like, I didn't go home and fantasize about having sex with him at all. I mean, I was very happy with my boyfriend, and he seemed happy in his relationship too. But it was really exciting when I found out I was working with him, or that we were in a scene together, or that we were going to get to improv together, because I knew that like it was going to be fun. And that's the type of person that I like hanging out with.
But your story's a little different because you actually...
But that's the only time. And it wasn't when we were together. I was just like... Then I was single first. I got dumped by... Well, actually, my boyfriend cheated on me. So we broke up, and I was devastated. I couldn't even think about kissing another person. Like, for the longest time, I couldn't even think about another being in like his place. But I still had to work, so I still went and filmed stuff, and Steve would be on some of the shoots, and I kind of started having a crush on him. And I would tell my girlfriend, who knew both of us, I was like, okay, I'm only gonna tell you this, but like I would never do anything, but I want someone that's like Steve. He's like so fun to hang out with. And like, I just feel like we get each other. We have the same sense of humor. We see the world the same way. And it helped me like mold what I wanted to find. And I've talked about this so many times before, but he created the standard for me. I never thought he'd be single ever. And then his girlfriend dumped him randomly out of nowhere. I mean, they were having a bad time. She was always talking about doing that, but I never thought she actually would. And then she did. And my girlfriend that I had been telling her about, she's like, what if she broke up with him and then like you're gonna go on a date and then marriage? I was like, I'm not gonna date this guy for at least 6 months. And then like within 2 weeks we were like boyfriend.
Oh my God. Well, that was clearly meant to be.
Yeah.
But I think for most work husbands, it's something that will never actually happen.
No.
Or like, you know, you change jobs and then you just forget that person even existed. Like time goes by, nothing has ever happened. I mean, have you had a crush on anyone that you've worked with before, Gina?
I remember when I worked at the Cheesecake Factory when I was like 19, I had a crush on the bartender.
Yeah, that's kind of like that.
Yeah, but then even then, I never wanted to date or hook up with anyone that I work with, because I just know how messy that can get. And personally, I just don't do it. I don't prefer it. And if I were to have a work husband, he would have to be like super gay. Like
super gay.
Super gay.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to ask about too, because I'm like, I have had like work guy friend, like best friends that I'm like, I'm excited to work with him. Like I'm looking forward to the time that we're gonna spend.
Because I also had a gay husband. I also had a gay best friend husband.
Well, this guy wasn't gay. But then that's why I'm asking, because
different. I think it's different.
Because I have never felt any sexual attraction to my work guy best friends. Like, so I'm like, were they my work husbands? Like, I've never had a crush on anyone I have ever worked
I've
with.
Had both. So, I mean, I've like had I've had a
Mike.
Like, for example, like going to even like JK, I know how their personalities are and it's fun, but it's not the same. Like, it's like they're kind of like,
there's not one person that you're like, I can't wait to go see that person.
No, they're more like it's like more like a brother relationship. But then I've worked on like films before where I've had a crush on like a cast member, but not in a way where I'd go home and like fantasize about them. Just like I'm excited to go see them, and I'm excited to like be in a scene with them, and I'm excited.
You know it's gonna be fun and good, and
it's like kind of flirty, but no one's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I've never flirted at work. Like I'm even thinking about like, because I worked at JK for so many years, I'm not even counting JK as my work history because they were like family.
Yeah.
But like working at the hospitals or like at my early jobs,
like
I never
had a crush on anyone that worked there.
No, like I did have other people, like at the hospital, for example, there'd be like guys that worked at different departments, like they didn't work directly with me. And we would just be in passing, like saying hi. I would be like, oh, I kind of have like a tiny little crush on him, but we didn't even talk.
No, yeah, that's
like,
not really, that's not it.
We didn't bond. It was just like only like in passing.
You've never had it, yeah.
No, it's like a partner. It's like you guys get each other and like they compliment you.
Yeah, I've never had
they're a
that.
part of your work life.
Yeah, they're like a balance in your
I've only
work
had
life.
a friend version of that. I've never been like sexually attracted to whoever I have had connections like that with at work. I've never.
It's weird because it's like
that.
it's not sexual for me per se. It's like
not necessarily
like just like a like the
fun, exciting crush.
Yeah, like where you're like, oh, I'm just excited to like.
Like
see
if you could picture
like,
them, like if you could picture yourself kissing them like that, like if it could get into that category, I've never had that category.
I think you can, but it's not so like
blatant
about it. You know,
like you're not
where,
thinking
like
about
maybe even if it goes that far, you get kind of like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you just still really like that person.
Yeah.
So you know how you spend all of your personal life with your husband, you spend 40, 50, 60 hours, depending on your work flow, with this person. So it kind of is like, this is my husband in my
like
regular life.
that.
This is my husband.
Yeah.
Because I spend 50 hours a week with this person. And it's almost, that's why the husband part comes in. Cause it's all, you're not always thinking about fucking and kissing your husband like every single day, especially after you've been together for like 10 years, right? Like, but they're just so much in your life. And you know,
they're like
it's
that partner part.
It's like the same thing, but like in a different half of your life. But you guys are a little different because your work life and your home life is all the same. I think
oh, like my current work husband
your
current
is my actual husband.
Is your actual
husband.
Same, boring.
I think for me, it's like this is my first day job in like a decade. So I never really had like a work crush because I think when it comes to work, I have like a barrier where it's just like this hard boundary. It's like
you just haven't had the right guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I have that same boundary.
Yeah, me too.
And it would never cross. Like nothing would ever happen.
Yeah.
But it just is exciting to see them.
If there's a guy with enough charisma, you work with him every day for fucking like 2 years.
And you click.
On G4, we have Kasim, who's a very attractive man.
Yeah.
And he's funny, but it's just like, I can't imagine myself ever.
Well, yeah, you don't.
No, it's not. It's like you don't picture like kissing.
He could be your work husband if you love working
not
with
even.
him.
Like we're all, because I think we all came together as a group.
Yeah.
So we work and we function as a group.
Yeah.
If anything. So I can't even imagine.
I think there's just not enough. There has to be some sort of chemistry there for it to be like, this is my work husband. Oh, this is also not something you would ever tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't tell anyone.
When I had this with Steve, I would never fucking admit it. Not like in a million years would I ever fucking say anything. I think I only told like one or two people.
Yeah.
I told Sky John, so shout out to Tipsy Bartender. So he had asked if I would ever date a YouTuber because he was trying to hook me up with some other YouTuber, and I was like, there's only one YouTuber I'd ever think about, but it'll never happen because he's with somebody. Yeah, they're gonna get married. And he's like, who? And so I told him, and then he forever remembered that.
Aww,
and
that's
I was
cute.
like, that's so funny. That's the only.
He's at your wedding.
One I said. Yeah,
he goes to your wedding.
Yeah, well, he was invited, but he was in Vegas.
Oh,
forget Sky.
Maybe I just wasn't in the right environment, like working in restaurants. And then I worked at an old people restaurant.
Restaurants are perfect for that.
Restaurants, yeah. Well, that's a lot of like actual, like fucking
you know
food.
what? There was one waiter that was really hot.
No,
but if
there wasn't like a real bond, like
no.
It's like a real bond.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good King of Queens episode about this. I love King of Queens.
I haven't seen that show in forever.
Oh my god, it's my favorite. I have the whole box set. If you ever want to watch it.
You big nerd.
Such a nerd.
Well, I wanted a marriage like theirs.
Yeah.
And hey, manifesting's real.
Yeah.
So Carrie works at a law firm and she's an assistant, and her husband Kevin James, his name's Doug in the show. He comes and visits her because he's a UPS driver, and so he goes and drops off a package at her work, and she's like, oh my God, now my real husband and my work husband are here. And or one of her coworkers says that, oh, Carrie, it's your work husband and your real husband. And then he's like, work husband?
Yeah.
And it's this whole episode and it's really funny.
Yeah. If I ever went to my date's place and like find out he has a work wife, she better be a raging lesbian.
She's dead.
Yeah. She needs to be a raging lesbian, like a stud. Like, all right.
So,
that's fine.
so why do you feel that way? Let's dig into that a little bit.
Let's do
I don't know. I think it's weird in a sense. Like, you guys can be friends
Like
and coworkers, but if you call, I don't know, because I feel like wife is my word.
Right.
It's me, you know, like that.
Well, what if it's not acknowledged? Like no
one would ever say it out loud.
That, and she doesn't call him that, but
they have that bond.
They have that thing.
Nah, everyone's dying.
It's risky,
everyone's
right?
dying. Everyone's dying.
It's risky, right? That's
everyone's
why,
dying.
number one, you don't admit it. Number two, you absolutely don't act upon it.
It dies
But
with you.
So this kind of ties in. I wasn't here for this episode, but a while back, Stacey was here, and you guys had an episode about can guys and girls be friends? And while I have some mixed opinions on it, and we don't have to rehash that whole thing, this is kind of a part of I guess her argument is like, if you're that close to someone, seeing them all the time, you know, you have that much chemistry with them, like it's risky for your actual relationship, which then ties into like the main point of this episode, which I want to talk about, was actual workplace affairs. So it's weird because like I felt like I had a work husband before, and like, but I knew he was married, and I knew I would never do anything or ever tell him.
And you don't like let them onto like that you have those.
No,
you know, it's like
he would never know.
He would never know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What if he let you know?
Then it would cross the line.
Yeah. Then you would have to like be
Everybody
reassigned or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I guess specifically with your experience, because
Yeah.
you're like already having sex dreams of the dude and like you're really excited. You're like, no. What if he actually approached you and was like, hey, you know, I've been feeling these strong feelings, and
I
like,
would just try to
make a
get
move
reassigned
on you.
Yeah.
Because I know he's married, and I wouldn't want to. It's like once it's real, I don't want it.
Yeah. So there was
happen.
one time, one work husband was like, we were done for the day. We were going to our cars, and he asked if I wanted to smoke with him, like smoke weed, and I was like, no, like no
Nothing
outside
outside.
activities, no, absolutely not. Going straight home, like. After work, it's done. Like, and also at work, there's no lines being crossed. Like, there can't be any of that. But it's just like an exciting like.
Like we can do anal at work, but after work,
Yeah.
Only on the clock.
You can
I
stay
only
on
get
the
paid to have
only
sex.
on the clock.
Well, really quick, we're going to take a quick break and a shout out to our sponsors. So make sure you listen in and give them some support. And they're supporting our show. We love them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Everyone has a different feel about online shopping. Some people like in-person shopping. Some people freaking hate it. Some people freaking hate online shopping. Sometimes it can be daunting. You never know if things will fit. Returns are difficult. You don't even know where to start.
With your style,
With your
exactly.
style, yeah. This season, let Stitch Fix do all the hard work, okay? Stop stressing out. Now they're introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, which is a shop built just for you. Stitch Fix Freestyle is your trusted style destination where you can discover and instantly buy curated items based on your style, likes, and lifestyle. Whether you're looking for a brand you love or to try a new one, at Stitch Fix Freestyle, you can shop over 1,000 brands personalized to your size and fit. With styles for workout to workwear, for lounging and around the house, or for a night out, Stitch Fix Freestyle has clothes for any occasion.
I kind of want to see your curated store so I can see what kind of outfits I pick for you. It's like, this is the Jess store.
It's all very like covered
athletic
up.
wear and
Covered up.
wetsuits.
I don't really show my skin much.
Don't judge her. Stop.
Don't make fun of my skin. Okay, anyways. Plus, there's no subscription required with Stitch Fix Freestyle. They offer free shipping, returns, and exchanges. Just go check it out at least. Get started today by filling out your style quiz at stitchfix.com/bigmood. That's stitchfix.com/bigmood to try Stitch Fix Freestyle. stitchfix.com/bigmood. Check it out.
I like the style quiz because, like, do you like jean jackets or wetsuits? It just like,
You know what?
when you're young, you young 18 and under people out there, it is very easy to discount the importance of sleep quality. But as you get older, you very much will realize how much a good night's sleep will affect your entire life. And if you're sleeping on a terrible mattress, your sleep will be terrible. It's that simple. That's why I personally recommend sleeping on a Purple mattress, because Purple mattresses have the Gel Flex Grid. It's a super stretchy, ultra squishy material that adapts and flexes around pressure points, and it doesn't retain heat. So if you're like a sweaty sleeper, don't worry about that. We got a mattress that does not retain heat. You won't get all uncomfortable waking up in the middle of the night, throwing the covers off of you. It's got that nice cooling effect to it. And also, if you have like a bad back or like, you know, you got some sore points, that's what the Gel Flex Grid is there for. It just goes around that. You don't need to be like, you know, stressed out in your sleep. The Gel Flex Grid is amazingly supportive for your back and legs while cushioning your shoulders, neck, and hips. So no matter how you sleep, if you sleep on your stomach, your side, your back, like a vampire, I don't know how people do that, but I wish I could. No matter how you sleep, you're gonna be covered. And unlike memory foam, which remembers everything, the Gel Flex Grid, Purple mattresses, bounce back as you move and shift, so you'll never have that, oh, I'm stuck feeling that people get with the memory foam. You can also try Purple mattress risk-free with free shippings and returns, and financing is available too. Getting a great night's sleep starts with having a great mattress, so get a Purple mattress. Go to purple.com/bigmood10 and use code BIGMOOD10. For a limited time, you can get 10% off any order of $200 or more. That's purple.com/bigmood10, code BIGMOOD10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. bigmood.com/bigmood10, promo code BIGMOOD10, terms apply.
And we're back. Hope you love those sponsors.
Buy
Show them
everything
some
we told you to
love.
buy.
Yeah, buy it.
Buy it.
But
Support
okay,
us.
so I guess we can try to kind of start getting in a little bit to this. So this was an article on Huffington Post, and it's called "The Psychology of Workplace Affairs." But what I found interesting was there was this one paragraph. Let me see. Affairs are not always about sex, although physical intimacy can be a huge driver. So I think that's kind of what Tiff was getting on. Affairs are more about creating a version of yourself that's more appealing, more alive than the version that shows up in your real life in your primary relationship.
Like a fantasy.
So it's I think the fantasy part is what me and Nikki were trying to say. Like if the guy started to try to make it a move to make it happen, then it would shatter
exactly
the fantasy of like, I just like going to work and I just like this person. But then if it became real, I don't want it. And that's the difference between me having like a fake work husband and actually having a real affair, which is like very serious.
Because even when I was like crushing on Steve, like I would never let anything happen. Like that would never happen. Not in 1 million years. Because one thing I liked about him was that he was so loyal to his girlfriend, and he like praised her all the time. And I would never ruin that ever.
Or not just that, but then it would kill your boner.
Yeah, it's also be like he's a disloyal person, so he's not the person that I.
But I feel like it's also disgusting that he ever dated anyone before you.
It's pretty gross.
So I feel like you should go start a fight.
Well, I made it. I took his dick to a priest to have it blessed with holy water. All the Satan demons are gone.
He dunked his dick in holy waters.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say you should start an argument right now.
And we know why Gina's still single. And I'm just kidding. Same, girl. Same.
You know what? I will.
Yeah, you should. Like that's really fucking rude.
Text your
I just thought about
cheating
this.
ass husband before you.
Yeah. Your
dare
wiener
you.
was in someone else before.
It's disgusting.
That's so inconsiderate.
That's so ridiculous.
Why would he do that?
There is this other thing. It says workplace affairs are often between people who get to see each other shine and succeed, and this admiration or power dynamic can fuel it. There may be workplace rules in place forbidding such unions, which only make it more enticing and more.
Yeah.
Because they're not the ones seeing their fucking dirty underwear on the floor.
Like
at
I don't
home.
have to fucking pick up his
Burping.
socks. I don't have to fucking clean his dirty dishes. I don't have to see his fucking pube hairs all over the bathroom.
I just see him succeed.
He's this polished. He's wearing like nice work clothes or whatever. He's always shaven. He always smells good. I'm not getting the fucking farting on a Saturday afternoon.
See, this is why you don't fart or shit in front of your partner.
That's crazy though. Like, so how do you have a relationship for 20, 30 years with someone, see all the worst of them, but then
Keep it a
still
mystery.
keep it
That's what I do.
No, keep it a mystery. Like we've been together almost a decade. I've never heard him fart. He's never heard me fart.
Amazing.
Like
You've
have
never
separate
even
bathrooms.
seen him
Not
completely naked?
accidentally, because we have the same rule. And
Okay,
we
accidentally,
like,
maybe.
we've like it's been accidental where we're like, oh shit.
But not just some dude like farting and belching on the couch.
All of my ex-boyfriends, all of
Same.
them would literally be like, lift up their legs.
Dude, same.
then
That's
it's
why
like,
I put that rule. I was like, no, please, no.
It's because their dads did that,
Yeah.
and everyone does that, and all my boyfriends did that too. And I dated all comedians, and they all like, you know, they're dudes. But it surprised me that Steve had that rule, and then
Steve implemented.
it was
this
his rule. Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, really, you don't feel like farting in front of your person makes it like you guys are comfortable in front of each other? He's like, nope. I knew a guy that was married for a long time, and he told me that was his secret to keep it a mystery, and I always took that with me, and I'm like, it's fucking true, because I still have just as much, if not more, sexual attraction to him than ever.
Yeah.
Casey, before Tiff, hypothetically, because you've never been with anyone before Tiff, did you ever fart and whatever in front of your significant others?
He said, yeah.
I'm very open with all that stuff, but I do value not farting.
He's
Now he values not.
benefits,
If I would die and you have to get remarried, you'll never fart in front of her.
I guess it depends on that person, but
No, he won't, because we'll kill her.
Yeah, we will kill her.
We'll kill her.
Wait, so it depends on that person, because like, you know how like Steve, for example, he was like, no, this is a hard rule because it's gonna kill the romance.
It's for the
You don't-
relationship.
You don't
Yeah.
see it that way at all.
You
I think
specifically.
for the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about for you though?
So if Tiff ripped a big fat one, you would be like, that's hot.
Not hot, but it's like I don't think he would be
wouldn't
It's
mind
indifferent.
Okay.
You said no.
So-
I honestly thought you would have said yes, because you're weird like that.
No. I'm a very indifferent person to many.
He doesn't care.
Casey's indifferent. He
Casey
says.
doesn't care.
I
about body
honestly
function.
feel like deep down inside you care, but the surface part, because that's easier to get to, you just say I don't care, and you don't really dig deeper.
Tiff's psychoanalyzing her husband right
okay.
now.
No, because I know you. I've been with you for a decade. I'm like, you actually do care about a lot of shit. You just don't say it.
Are you gonna look when the baby when the baby?
That I'm gonna look.
You're gonna look.
I
don't
told
do
him
that.
too. I'm like, I don't think you should look.
I'm not letting
Don't look.
Steve
It
look.
traumatizes
No.
guys to not
It
want to have
does
sex with their
traumatize.
wife again.
But the baby's
It's
gonna
risky.
It's gonna put a curse on you.
just-
No.
You can just see it when it takes its first breath. You don't have to
Yeah.
see it
I mean,
pop
you can
out.
see it like from here probably, but not like the full frontal view.
No full Nelson.
No,
Full Nelson of the baby.
preserve the image of your woman's
That's
vagina
what I'm saying.
as much as you can.
Yeah.
Why don't you just record it so like later when you're old and
Yeah, there you go.
you don't want to fuck her anyway, then you can watch it later and be like, oh, that's what happened. But like,
Yeah, 'cause-
wait until she's like 50 or 60 when you guys
Yeah.
like barely.
So
even
because of
fucking-
his answer to say yes, that he's down to see the baby crowning when I'm giving birth, I for sure would have thought he would have said, yeah, I would think that's hot when she's farting.
Yeah.
Because he's
it's
not hot, just
it's not
indifferent.
sexual for the baby.
It's natural.
Yeah. He just wants to see what it really
well,
looks like.
yeah, I wasn't saying that the
think.
baby thing is sexual. It's just like that's how disgusting he tends to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
With
he's just a
things.
man, so yeah, just baseline disgusting.
Yeah,
We
because
get
like
it.
I'll be like, oh man, this is the first time I actually smell my BO now that I'm pregnant. Oh shit! And then he's like, oh, let me smell. I'm like, no, wait.
That's so
You guys
funny.
are weird.
Yeah.
You guys are super weird.
Steve does the same thing. He also likes smelling my head.
That's
Yeah.
his thing. Like
Yeah.
hardcore his thing.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And do you like it
Yeah.
better when she sweats too? Like, yeah,
Yes,
that's what
he loves it.
He
Guys are
loves
weird
when,
like
right
that.
after the treadmill, he wants to like smell my head.
Yeah, this guy's the same.
That is very strange.
I had a
You know
guy.
how
I don't
people
think
wash
we
their
are
hair
like
every day?
that.
It's
I like we are
Yeah.
with the armpit area on guys. Like,
Yeah.
when you rest your head on their
I like that
chest,
shit.
If
there's
they
like
have
that.
if they have
Pheromone area.
deodorant on,
Yes.
so the
It's a
deodorant
mix.
plus the sweat
Yeah,
is
I
okay,
like
but zero deodorant,
No.
no. But so okay, so how does that change the workplace? You know, like because how we're talking about how guys are like they're more polished at work. We don't see like the shitty sides
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah.
so we get more. You know, it's higher propensity to have a crush on them because like we're not seeing all of them. How do you think that plays in?
I guess because I've never worked a 9 to 5, like
Yeah.
I can't really relate to this part because like Steve and I work together all the time, so I don't have that. But the times that I've worked on like a film or something like that, it's more just like it's less of a they're more polished and more of a like, oh, that's a different flavor. Like I haven't interacted with this flavor before.
Yeah.
But you know, when I picture them, and the reason I don't go home and like fantasize about them is because those people, they're usually like kind of funny, but they don't seem like mature husband guys. Like I would never like that doesn't seem like it would go to a relationship.
Your industry.
It's just like a different like
Yeah.
oh, that's a different taste. Okay.
You know what I think I can relate it to a little bit, what you're saying about the whole like polished version of it, and then like someone can be attracted to that, and then like it could lead to affair kind of thing. I think it's the same kind of psychology when people are like, they know so much about like a celebrity or a YouTuber or something like that, where like they fully know their whole life and they feel a strong connection because then they're relating it to their own life, even though they've never actually met.
And they don't see the bad parts.
They don't see
any of the bad parts. It's all polished.
They're not getting a full picture.
Yeah.
Like
so I'm like,
crush,
I could see how that can play into like a work setting.
Yeah.
And it, because they actually have the added layer of having that interaction and actually like communicating and like connecting on a deeper level.
This article is talking about how people can feel alone and depleted in their relationships because like when you don't have the same job or like even in the same industry, you don't like when you come home, what you did for 8 or 10 hours that was stressing you the fuck out, like they're not going to understand it at all. So I think in like a part of human nature is like you just really want to be understood. You like the camaraderie. So like it's risky when you spend then 8 to 10 hours with someone who understands like they're a part of your daily mission. Like that's, if you think about it, like I'm like, I'm going to work with an accountant and they're going to do exactly what I do. No commiserating with some fucking bitch on some shit you're doing, you know, like.
I think that's another thing. Because like, I can only speak from like projects I've worked on, but it's like, you're both working on the same project for the same goal, that your partner wouldn't understand the project at all.
And then so you go home
jokes.
and you like want to explain or you just like want them to understand, but they're like, I don't get it.
That makes sense. I've only dated like a couple guys in the gaming industry, and it does make it a lot more fun when they understand. Yeah. And you have somebody to talk about after work and stuff.
Freaking crazy.
All right. Get rid of the risk of this, I say we segregate workplaces by sexes.
Wait, what about same-sex couples?
And what about
bisexual orientation. Okay.
So there's just like 1,000 different offices for the same thing.
That's true. That's true.
All the buys over here, the pans over here.
You know, I'm just gonna go into my man's work every once in a while, fire off a few rounds, just a number. Be like, all
just come into his office, pull your pants down, take a piss in the lobby.
That would only work for heterosexuals though. Like, or I mean, because they like put all the bi people in one.
That's what I was saying.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. All right. He's only allowed to work with old geriatric people.
My husband will be in a cage. And everyone else is whatever they want.
Okay. In a cage. Mouth taped shut.
What if he has a thing for geriatric people? He doesn't discover it until he's working with them.
Damn it. Okay, then I don't want to be with them. I'm good. I'm out. I don't want to have
I just have to poke holes in every single solution.
He's like, hey, before we have sex, can you draw wrinkles on you?
Can you do this with your lips?
I mean, that granny porn exists for a reason, I guess.
So I was trying to think like if Steve had this on like, you know,
what if he had like a crypto girlfriend?
Yeah. I don't know. For Steve, for him in particular, like all my other boyfriends, no, fuck them, they're dead. But I trust him so much. And even now when he said, like looking back on our when we were just friends in relationships, he said that he felt the same way about me, but I would never know. Like, and he didn't know that I felt that way either. So like, we don't let anyone see that. And so I don't think that he would ever cross the line either. And that makes me feel safe. So I don't really mind. And I don't think he has that, but if he did, as long as I'm happy at home,
he's not gonna act on it. You don't care if he even has.
Well, that's why you're married to him.
Exactly. And then also I felt like I forgot to add this part. When I felt these things, I'd come home and I'd want to be with him more. You know,
like it kind of gives you,
it kind of transferred that energy.
It's like you get a dopamine, serotonin kind of rush, and then that fuels the rest of your day. So like for me, that like when I have a crush on someone, like I'll work out more, I'll like eat better, like it's the chemicals that environment's giving me that cause me to be better as like in my own life, even though like I don't want to be with that person or anything, but they're giving me kind of like the chemicals, the feel good chemicals by just having that exciting relationship
keeps you on point in all areas. And it's not necessarily for them, but they're just like they're the catalyst to that.
They're for some reason delivering me serotonin and dopamine in my brain. But I don't want it to like, I don't want to like fucking create a life with this person now. I don't want him to divorce his wife now. Like that's just crazy.
Like you don't want the mess involved. You're just like, oh, it's just a late thing. As long as it stays this late thing. And it
should be fleeting. It shouldn't get deeper and deeper and deeper.
I just remembered about this person that reached out to me And he's like, hey, I need some advice. He was working at a grocery store. He was also like 20 years old, like freshly 20 years old. And he's like, I'm hooking up with my coworker. And she was like 40 something.
Oh my God.
Or 40 something, almost 50.
She was double his age.
She was married.
Oh.
And with kids. And then he's like, what should I do? I was like, you fucking leave, dude. What the hell?
Stop fucking her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, but I don't know. And then next thing you know, like a couple weeks later.
What was he questioning though? Like, what do you mean? What should I do?
She said that she would leave her husband for me. And I was like,
oh, he was like, how do I get out of this?
No, he wanted to stay. Yeah. He's like, do you think she'll really leave him? I'm like, no. And even if she does, do you really want to be with someone like that? You know, like
twice his age?
Yeah. This woman should be dropping you off at school, if anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so then a couple weeks later, he hits us up. He's like, hey, you know, thank you guys for all the advice, but I think I'm still going to pursue this. And I know it's going to be disappointing to you guys, but I have no idea where he is now.
It's his life and his choice. I don't ever recommend breaking up a marriage.
I can't relate to the whole workplace affairs part.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think that's not fun anymore. That's not what it was about.
Yeah, but then that logic too of like going back to that story, like how he wants to stay and be with someone who would do this to someone else that they once loved and that they had a whole marriage and probably kids. I don't know. I don't understand that.
She's probably going to die of old age by the time you turn 21 to drink, bro. Like,
do you think it's probably do you think it's probably like a form of narcissism on his end where he's like, I'm the special one.
Yeah.
I get to...
They ruined their whole fucking shit that they had going on for me.
Because I definitely have heard girls in that situation have that mentality.
I had a friend
like the fucking pick me bitches that are like, oh, like he's going to leave his wife for me. Yeah. And it's going to be great.
I can take your man if I want to.
Yeah. I hate that energy.
I legit had a friend like that who was the other woman. And she was like, she would get so like mad at the girl. Like his girlfriend that he was living with would show up in his Instagram pictures and she would get so mad at her, like, oh, that fucking bitch, like she's so old and blah. And like, I'm like, you're the one like breaking up this like it was so gross to me. We're not.
That is really gross.
And then he ended up like, so the girlfriend found out and he didn't leave his girlfriend for her.
Yeah.
He got dumped and then he was like hooking up with my friend still until he found another girl.
Yeah. Like she wasn't it.
You were never,
she thought she was though.
Yeah.
Or there'll be situations where same situation where he gets dumped because he got caught cheating and then he ends up with the side girl and then he gets with the side girl but then he ends up having another side girl.
Yes.
And then like it's just
a chain.
They'll like I'm a
these are not
firm believer of, like cheaters will never be
once a cheater always a cheater.
Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't do it.
So I did, there's another article that I was looking at too and it was talking about why people that are in happy relationships cheat because I feel like that kind of ties in.
Is it because they feel like they don't deserve the relationship? They have to
sabotage.
There's like a list of things here where people said this is why that they cheated, even though they still love, even though they're in a happy relationship and they don't want to get a divorce.
That's
right?
interesting.
Yeah. So there's a few. Let's see. Let me pick some good ones. So the cheater thinks that all sexual attraction must lead to action.
Oh.
So I guess that's some sort of a kind of a faulty thinking where this person believes, well, if I'm sexually attracted to them, I should like see it to the end. What? Even though I love my wife, I don't want to leave my wife.
That's so compartmentalized.
Weird.
That's weird.
Yeah. I can see, okay, if you're one of those people, then you need to seek a partner that's willing to have an open relationship. Yeah. Because that's what people in open relationships are like. They're like, I love you. Sex is different and sex is just like can be shared and there's no feelings involved. But yeah, that's I couldn't imagine doing that. It would wreck me like from within to know that I did that to my partner.
Yeah.
And just the thought of every person that I find sexually attractive, I must pursue until the end. That sounds tiring, dude.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
Well, I mean, personally, I don't have that many people that I come across in life that I'm sexually attracted to. So if one came out of every 5 years, I might think like, oh, I should pursue this because it's rare, right? I mean, obviously I would never cheat on anyone, but I'm trying to get into the mindset of someone who feels like they should pursue a sexual attraction because it wouldn't be exhausting for me because that like rarely happens. Like rarely does it happen that I'm like, oh, I actually want to sleep with this person. So maybe that's where they're at. Like it's not every 6 weeks there's a new person that they're totally down for.
I get that.
I also wonder what these people's definition of a happy relationship is. Like, because sometimes I meet people and they're like, oh yeah, we have a great relationship, but they mean that they work well together, almost like a business. Like they like one person does these tasks, this person does this task, the finances are together, everything is together, but there's no passion or sexual
It's a transaction.
there. Exactly. But they're like, no, or we're very stable, and they think that's equals a happy relationship.
Weird. I read a Reddit post where this guy admitted, and he was like, the reason why my wife and I's relationship works out so well is because I cheat on her at least once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah,
I've heard a bunch of those.
Once or twice a year, I go on a business trip, and I sleep with a local girl there, and it rejuvenates me. When I come home, I'm happy. I treat my wife well. I buy her flowers and blah, blah, blah.
Does the wife know?
He's a sociopath.
Jesus.
But
Yeah. And he got ripped apart on Reddit.
Yeah,
It's like,
that sounds like my ex.
yeah, it's weird. And like, are you treating her better because it's actually guilt underneath that all? And you're making up for it,
Like,
Absolutely.
He's absolutely fueled by guilt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, and it makes my wife happy because she gets all these nice things. And people are like, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Well, and by like her thinking he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he's validated like, see, I can't be that bad
Yeah.
if she thinks I'm
The only way this could be
Constant.
acceptable is if the wife's in on it too.
exactly
The only way.
and then it's not cheating.
Open relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then another one of the reasons, obviously, is this is just preference, but some people believe that sex can be separated from love, which I guess that's why
We
there's
touched upon
some of
earlier.
those poly relationships, right? Where they're just open, or that they don't know differently. I'm like, how is this one?
What?
Some people see cheating as a normal part of all relationships, a learned behavior they've copied from parents, family, or past relationships. This person said, I don't plan to go down the whole Freudian route, but if a cheater has ever seen parents or peers steer away from a committed relationship into a sexual affair with another,
They just think that
they
that's
just think
normal.
that's normal. Yeah. So, I mean, we've heard some people that are like, well, everyone's just going to cheat, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
everyone cheats.
Like everyone cheats.
Like,
and that's,
so they
that's where they get
don't
it
know that that's not necessarily real or
I feel
legit.
so bad for people that really believe that, or that like that's just a thing.
Like there's no option. My husband's going to cheat no matter what. So it's fine.
Damn.
I guess
sad.
if
That's
you're
a
like
sad way to
okay
live.
with accepting that, it like the one time that happened to me, I was like devastated. I could never cheat on somebody.
My the girlfriend that I always tell you guys about, the sex worker, she's dealt with so many men that she's super jaded now, which is crazy because now she's like a crystal healer kind of person that does readings. You people are
Is she
weird.
me?
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
Crystal people.
Yeah, she's those crystal people. But then working in the sex industry for so long, she's like, Gina, every man cheats. It's just the way it is. And I was like, dude, that's a really sad
Well, also her
way to-
industry draws
Yeah.
like
exactly.
like a guy
You're
who
seeing
wouldn't
over and over.
wouldn't
Exactly.
be involved in
World.
the sex industry.
Yeah.
If your job is to study car crashes, you're like every car
Every
crashes.
car is
crashes.
gonna crash.
They all crash.
at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
It's a really sad way to think, Like
Yeah.
she's just very, now it's like, I feel like you're pessimistic with every relationship you go into.
I mean, I get it though. It's definitely easy to feel like when it feels like 80% of men would, then you're just like, well,
Then
fuck.
it can become
good
a
luck with the
self-fulfilling
other
prophecy.
Yeah, that's
too.
true.
Yeah. Good
And
luck
by sex
finding
worker
the
friend, I mean me, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what everyone fucking
Everyone in
thinks.
the comments always says that. Oh,
And she's got crystals in her pocket, too.
I'm at the point where I'm like, bitch, come into our podcast so we can just settle this right now.
Yeah.
Look, it's her, okay?
Yeah.
That's funny.
We could have crystal showings together.
Casey, I think you met her.
Oh.
What?
Oh no, this was early JK, because JK, like Bart and Joe.
After she met Casey, was she like, every man cheats?
met Bart and Joe, every man cheats.
Oh shit.
Wait, no, that might be before Casey.
Anyways, another reason why someone said people may succumb to the lure of something exciting and novel, even if they're otherwise happy. So
Shiny new
basically, they were just bored, even
Yeah.
though they still love them. They still there's nothing intrinsically wrong, just getting bored. And I'm like, how do you feel comfortable getting married knowing that someone could just get bored? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so scary.
I think it's in their personality too. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what it reflects in other ways too. If this person needs to have a new car every like couple years.
Yeah, well, I need a new car every couple of years. What does that say about me?
You can get bored.
Get bored,
I'm never
bitch.
marrying you.
No, or like you just like, for me, it's like, oh shit, someone that's on a diet and they're just quick to cheat on the diet. It's
Right.
like, oh, what, like, how else are you viewing the rest of your
Commitment and discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, Exactly. The commitment and discipline. It's like you're down to cheat on your diet. You want something new every 5 minutes. You don't take care of what you do have because it's like, fuck it, I'll just get something else. I'm like, that kind of like shows signs of
reckless.
Possibly. Yeah, exactly.
Lifestyle.
Like reckless, doesn't care to take care of anything or cherish it or like make it last at all. And just quick to just toss it and have no value on anything.
Yeah.
Like you could easily see a relationship like that.
Totally. I think also like it's people that haven't found their thing, like they're not passionate about something, so they're looking for these dopamine rushes in other places all the time, and nothing's ever satisfying that because it's so fleeting. Whereas like, you know, for example, with Steve, he's obsessed with crypto. He's on there all the time. I don't have to worry about him getting bored.
It's been years.
Like he's been
doing that for years.
He's obsessed with it. Unless he's like secretly talking to a webcam girl.
Yeah.
But I've like done laundry and like come in on his office and he's always looking at charts. It's so boring.
Yeah. Really quick, we need to take another sponsor break to shout out the people supporting the show. So give them your attention. Buy something. Yeah.
That's how you support us.
All right, so you guys know I have 2 wonderful kitties at home that our family absolutely loves and have loved them for the past 8 years. They bring so much joy to our family. But what we don't really love is the stink bombs that they leave in their litter box. Everything from cleaning to covering up the smell has always been a constant battle, but not anymore ever since we started using Pretty Litter. We've been using Pretty Litter for quite some time now, and we're thoroughly happy with Pretty Litter because it is kitty litter reinvented. Unlike traditional litter, Pretty Litter's super light crystals trap odor and release moisture, resulting in dry, low-maintenance litter that doesn't smell. And Pretty Litter is virtually dust-free because it's manufactured with a specialized de-dusting process. Pretty Litter arrives safely at my door in a small, lightweight bag that lasts up to a month. And now I get litter bags auto-shipped, so I don't have to deal with last-minute trips to the store. And shipping is free. But above all else, here's why Pretty Litter is a pet parent's hero. It is a health indicator. Pretty Litter monitors my cat's health by changing colors when it detects potential underlying issues. You will not find that kind of innovation in conventional litter. So get the world's smartest litter without leaving your home by visiting prettylitter.com and using promo code BIGMOOD for 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com, promo code BIGMOOD for 20% off. prettylitter.com, promo code BIGMOOD.
Bonjour, my lovelies. Whether it's saving more and spending less, getting organized, or losing weight, there's a lot of worthwhile goals to set yourself up for this year. At the top of my list is learning a new language with Babbel, the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. And if you hadn't guessed yet, the language that I'm trying to currently learn is French. And I've got to say, I really, really enjoy the Babbel app compared to others. I've tried pretty much all of the ones on the market over the last 6 years, and Babbel is my favorite for the kind of quick style, on the go, 15-minute lessons that you can do after dinner or, you know, while you're taking a bath or whatever. Babbel really is a great user interface, and I love the way the lesson plans are set up, and I feel like I'm really actually getting some of these words sticking in my brain. Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons for real-world use. Their 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code BIGMOOD. That's BABBEL.com. Code MOOD. Babbel. Language for life.
And we're back. Did you buy it?
Okay.
You didn't? You broke bitch.
Yeah. That's mean.
We're giving you
kidding.
discounts.
Thank you
should
for
really
being
buy the
here.
bed sheets.
Thank you for being here anyway.
Well, we don't know what.
I don't know. I don't care. Buy them.
Whatever it is, fine.
Okay, so I wanted to also touch on, like, I found this other article, the worst thing you can say after cheating on someone, but I want to see if you guys can guess it.
Wait, to get away with cheating?
No, we're not getting away with anything.
part,
this
where
is
it's
just like interpersonal things. Like you have to fess up to it. It's the worst thing you could say.
Okay.
They gave better head.
Yeah. Don't say the person's better than them.
Yeah, in any way.
What about? I know people always say it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Because so you threw away a relationship for somebody that doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah, that would sting.
Yeesh.
Like,
I don't
hard.
think there's anything they could say that makes it.
It's not about making it okay. This is just literally how, like, this is what makes it worse.
Yeah.
Don't like, because nothing's going to make it okay ever. Like nothing you could say will like make that okay or better or feel better.
So would it be a little bit better if they cheated on you with someone and it's like, I'm sorry, but I really am in love with this person. Like this is who I want to be with. And then they actually end up spending the rest of their lives together. Does that make it a little bit better?
I mean, in 40 years, like 40 years later, you might be like, okay, well, yeah, I guess they really found their one. But in the moment and for like the whole fucking life, like, no, that's going to suck.
So 40
you can't make it better.
But so 40 years later, does that make it feel a little bit better than it would have been if it was like, it meant nothing?
Probably. I really think it depends on the person, because a person could see it that way that's receiving it, where it's like, well, that's good for them. Like, oh, they were meant to be. But then the other, like a different person could be like, oh my God, like I wasn't good enough. And like they met that caliber and I couldn't.
Yeah, that's hurtful too. But also like you don't want to be like the person that's wrong for the, you know, like you don't want to be married to someone like you're not meant for them. Like it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Definitely.
But then I think that's why I'm saying just like with time, like later on, you'll be like, oh, okay, you know, that wasn't really about me.
No matter what, I'm at a 10 already. So say the worst thing because you can't get worse.
I think it could, for me personally, like the worst would be for them to deny it.
Okay, that's
like the worst.
If they gaslight me.
You fucker! I literally have the fucking proof.
That's what happened.
And then you deny it, and then they get mad at me for finding out, and then they throw it at me like, how dare you find
crazy.
out? You're that would be like, it's like cheating's here, and then that would make it like
that's what happened to me.
Like up
I
here.
had to message the girl and I was like, yo, I might sound so crazy, but this isn't the first time, and I just let me know so I could let this person go. And she was nice enough to let me know that I was right, and it made me feel so much better because this guy was insulting me that I actually, like, he thought I was crazy, or he used to call me crazy.
I didn't have the guy insulting me that I was crazy. I had the guy saying, she's fucking nuts. Like, why do you think I would touch her? That's
what he said too.
Yeah, so I would never be the attacked one for finding out, but it was like, why would I be with her? She's gross. You're always on my arm when we're in public. Like, you're the, you know, like, why would I fucking touch this
Everyone
cow?
at work knows about you.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
So he did that first and made me feel better. But then I kept seeing her name pop up on his phone.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, this is insulting to my intelligence if you're at this point telling me that there's nothing else going on. And why did you put a lock on your phone after you already had no lock on your phone? It's just weird, like all these little things adding up. Yeah. And I'm like, this isn't my first rodeo. And he was like, you're actually crazy because I can't even believe that you still don't believe me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm not dealing with you anymore. And then I messaged her on Facebook because that was what everyone used at the time. Yeah. And I was just like, I feel crazy. And the one thing I knew about her is that she had just gotten cheated on with her boyfriend and he gave her an STD. And that was one of the things that my boyfriend was saying was that, like, I wouldn't touch her. She has an STD. Like, why would I do that? Like, I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. And
did you find out that she had an STD through him?
Yeah.
Because he could have just made that up too.
Oh, true.
Like, he could have just been like,
but you know how liars use part truth? So I'm like, at least if she doesn't have that, I think she did just get broken up with her boyfriend.
Or I mean, the STD part.
Or just get cheated on by her boyfriend.
Well, STDs are very rampant, so it's not out of the question. Yeah. It's probably true.
Boy, isn't it? Sure is.
Well, so this article is saying an affair wasn't about their partner is painful because it's hard to think that you weren't even on your partner's radar when you made that decision. It makes the person feel unwanted, unloved, and unimportant.
Wait, saying what?
Saying that, like, it's not about you. It's like, whatever. So they're saying...
So it'd be better if it was a revenge cheat?
No, I think it's just like the fact that you didn't even think about me. Like it's...
I get it.
What was the sentence itself?
Okay, saying an affair wasn't about you.
Oh, it wasn't you.
It's excruciating to think you weren't on your partner's radar when they made that decision. It makes you feel unwanted and unloved. So
kind of like a drunk situation. I could see that probably come up or something where it's like I was drunk, like I just didn't realize like that was like it got to that point. And then I mean it could be a tiny little bit more forgivable because alcohol can do that, but still, like the point is that I was so unimportant that even in your most drunken state, you didn't even think about me, kind of thing. Like, I guess that could be like an example of what this means.
Yeah. This goes on to say unfaithful partners say things like that because it's true. It may be hard to believe, but when most people cheat, they really aren't thinking about their spouse at the time. They're thinking with their groins, their hormones, their emptiness, or their insatiable sense of attraction. Saying it meant nothing comes across as I destroyed your world for nothing.
Right. And if they said they did think about you, I feel like that's a lie. Like if they said like, well, it's because you never do blah, blah, blah. Like they're trying to blame it on you. I feel like that's a lie.
I remember my first big relationship, he cheated on me multiple times. I took him back the first time stupidly. And then the second time that he cheated on me, because I only found out about 2. It turns out there was like a fuck ton.
Yeah.
But the second time I found out, he was like, his excuse was, well, you were always going to not trust me anyways from last time, and you were going to accuse me anyway, so I might as well.
God, yeah.
And I was like, what the are you out of your mind, dude?
Yes, he is out of his mind.
He is out of his mind.
What are other things that make it hard?
Well, I mean, this whole article is basically just expounding on like the whole like saying it meant nothing. Like it's basically like this is probably the worst way to go about it. So I think it's more like try to figure out what really was going on. Besides, I mean, I don't know. It's like because people initially just want to be like, oh, it's not you. Like I don't, like I wasn't even thinking about you. Like it's not even, like and maybe in an attempt to make it like
better,
like hurt less. Like it's not your fault.
But then at the same time,
I wasn't even thinking. It was so stupid.
Well, that's shitty because then on the other hand, the person that got cheated on be like, so I didn't even do anything wrong, and you're punishing me. I feel like. Like,
so or they're just taking on like the I'm stupid. It was like, not,
is this for people that still want to save their relationship? I guess like if you were trying to salvage a relationship, then maybe you care about this. But for me, if my partner cheated, like it doesn't, any excuse will do. I don't give a fuck what you say after that. Like after I find out, it's done. Like no coming back from it. There's no like bridge, there's nothing for you. This is gone. You don't exist to me.
Like, what is, because that's me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. You fucked up hard. This is unforgivable.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You crossed the line, shattered it, can never put it back together. But what I was thinking of though, because like I have heard of situations where that does happen in their relationship and like one person's cheating and then they'll end up still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But that's then like that, but then the reason that is brought up, it's like, I cheated because you didn't give me attention. And it's like, fuck, like if I heard that, I'm like, well, why didn't you say anything, you bitch? Like, I don't know. Like to me,
what if they had said something? Would that make it different? Like if they had been voicing their,
I guess
their
like then
needs not being met.
Then at that point, then I could feel like, okay, this is my role in this. I could take accountability for like what led to this.
But you still didn't have to cheat on me. Like,
I mean, the cheating part is like you jumped the gun. Like you should have said we need to go to therapy or I want a divorce.
Yeah, that's like to me, like I said, it's unforgivable. But at least that would be better than hearing like this stuff, like these excuses.
You get a heads up at least of knowing what led to it.
Exactly.
And you saw like it in motion.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, like this is the role that I played. We're not going to fix this. It's unfixable. But at least I know what happened. And at least like there's, like there was a route. Instead of just like, I don't know, I didn't think of it. Like you didn't cross my mind. It was just spur of the moment or whatever it was. It meant nothing. Or if it's like, yeah, I didn't communicate to you at all, but you weren't giving me attention and this other person was. And I just ended up having like a thing with that person for a while, even though we were together and not saying
placing
anything
the
about
blame thing is like really kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
This article is talking about that. They said usually when someone says like, I didn't mean anything or whatever, the cheating partner is trying to show that they never intended to leave the spouse and kids for the affair, but it's minimizing thing to say, hey, I cheated on you, but it could be worse. What they're saying is you have to admit that you understand that your selfish actions cause you and your spouse incredible pain. You're the sole architect of this shitty situation. But I don't know, like there's all of these like couples therapists and stuff that are like trying to like write articles and books on like how to like get through this stuff. Cause it's like, we can't just keep throwing away divorces over stuff like that. And
you can.
like yeah, it's hard for me to have a strong opinion on what's right or wrong about cheating, because I just feel like if you have a partner and you go all the way through marriage, like the fact that you actually went through the marriage should mean like it's my responsibility and your responsibility before either of us does anything to tear it apart, that we first say we need therapy, we need attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for you to fail in saying we need therapy, we need attention before something destructive occurs means like you're not a part of this marriage.
No.
Yeah,
You never
exactly.
were.
You don't care about my
So
needs at
like
all.
why do I need to save it? Why do I need to go through work to save it? It's tough though, because then if there's kids, then you have to break up the family.
I can understand the tougher situation when there's kids involved.
Yeah. Or if like the woman never worked and she has no income and no job history and now she's like fucked. Like,
absolutely. And then especially, traditionally when people got married younger and they don't even know who they are yet.
Yeah.
And then their identities completely grow apart, like where they're different people, and so they don't realize like, oh, we weren't actually in love. That was just like the first relationship and we got married. Instead they're like, oh, well, I like this person over here, and they're not thinking about what they're doing. I can have some empathy for that, but that doesn't mean you stay together. Like you have to stay together and work it out after somebody
Or
does.
like you stay together, you cheat, and then stay together.
Yeah.
I think divorces are actually a great thing. Because, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that it happened, but that means you two are making strides to find your own happiness,
and you respect yourself and you both are setting boundaries and
so
You learn from that experience.
Yeah.
exactly. So I love those like divorce celebration parties. Like that's cool. Like you guys are celebrating together. Like, you know what? We didn't work out and we're doing what's best for
and
us.
you'll think
move
harder
on.
on the next one maybe.
Yeah. And then I don't, whenever somebody says like, oh, I just got divorced and people say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, dude, that's cool. You know? Yeah.
Usually
Even if it ended on bad terms.
That means like I would say that's cool if that's what they wanted to. Because then they're
I mean, even if it ended on bad terms, like, oh, I got a divorce because she cheated on me. It's like, you know what? It sucks now, but it's good for you.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah. So my aunt and my uncle was in that kind of relationship, high school sweethearts. He like lost his virginity to her. Like they were like this, whatever, the huge couple. He cheated on her, and then they ended up working it out, and they've been married for 20 something years now. So it's like,
well, they started super
I mean,
young. I
young.
feel like I guess you kind of said that. Like I have a little bit more breathing room for people who were like high school sweethearts that were married for like 50, 60 years. Because I mean, imagine being a human, like only allowed to stay in one situation for 60 years. Like that's hard to even believe.
Yeah.
So I can give a little bit of empathy to that. But
that's like 1 in a billion for that to actually
that
happen.
like really. So people hear those stories and like, well, it could work out. And I'm like,
No,
you're probably the rule, not the exception. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of can't find empathy in that situation at all. It's like you made your decision, you committed all these years, especially because of how long it's been. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I talked to my uncle. I was like, so what happened at the time? Because they were high school sweethearts. He cheated on her.
How old was he when he cheated?
I think like 19 or 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. He was an idiot.
It wasn't
still.
like 30 something, So I
If he was
like,
a
Yeah, the
grown
longer
man,
it is, the worse it is.
if he was a grown man, like at 45, I would be like, no, this is fucked up.
Exactly.
But, I mean, a fucking 20-year-old kid is an idiot.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? I did it. I regretted it, and fucking it broke my heart because she left me, obviously, and I deserved it. And then I realized it was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life, and they got back together. But again, like, this doesn't mean you guys should do this. Yeah, and it's okay.
But that's different because that's what I'm saying. Like you're a kid.
It's way different. Yeah.
Not just that, but then he actually like saw there was a realization, there was change, there was commitment, there was like trust building again, and like all that stuff, and then because of the young age, I feel like there's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
But then like the older you are,
Yes.
and the more like, and then you're doing this shit, and then you want to try to fix it.
No.
That's forever fucking fractured.
You're a full-on
forever.
adult now. Like, you have no excuse.
I mean, after like 25, I'm kind of like
18 to 25 is when you learn all your lessons.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta just that's when you fuck up and it's gonna hurt and you're gonna get your knees scratched. But then you grow up and you get back up and you know how to fucking not hurt your knee anymore and fall down and like you better just stay on your 2 feet.
There's no excuses for certain mistakes. Like obviously we're all humans and no one's perfect, right? So even at 35 you can make mistakes, but there's certain things you should have learned after 25 that's like it's inexcusable. Like now I'm 35 and we're in a relationship and you're going to cheat now, like you should have already known that this is not a thing you're allowed It's not a mistake that's forgivable at this age.
Yeah. And I guess that's our opinion. There's other people that have different opinions. They're like,
well their opinions are wrong, but
and that's why everything is personal. Personally for me, no. Yeah. Deal breaker gone. You don't exist
That's
anymore.
like you're setting the bar too low at that point.
And when it comes to work husbands and her work wives, go in there, fire a few rounds off every few weeks. Let them know. Just set your, let them know.
Just bring in some cupcakes with some laxatives.
One of them has,
in it.
Dude, honestly,
one of them has arsenic. Good luck.
If I had a work husband and Steve came around with a shotgun, I'd be like, oop, that's kind of hot.
Right?
Yeah, I'd kind of be like, who cares that much?
Yeah. Toxic. We love it. We love the toxicity.
It's like,
That's my he cares. He's jealous.
It's like everyone's getting fired up, work wife from shooting you, and then you for you knew.
Yeah.
And you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And you for hiring her.
Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, that's our hour.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, cheating's always wrong, so don't fucking do it and don't accept it.
Wait, can I extend a little bit longer?
Sure.
What if she cheated because her husband was beating the fuck out of her?
That's different.
Yeah, so that's the that's
like
the only
life
time.
and
But she could
Why
get out
cheat
first.
though?
But then she met a guy who's like, dude,
gonna save her from it.
yeah, and then they fall in love. In that case, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, you're fine. You needed someone to rescue you. Go. That's
Putting
fine.
a carve out in a contract right now, like yes, under the circumstance that you are heavily abused at home, and then you meet a guy that's going to rescue you.
No.
You can cheat.
But you know how ridiculous it is, though. Like society these days, how ridiculous it is. You have to put those exceptions in, because then they're gonna be like keyboard warriors, be like, but what about people that blah 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 blah. So I get it.
No, you don't need to cheat because your husband's beating you. You need to fucking get help.
Yeah.
What if that guy's helping her? Like, hey, you can.
Okay, he helps.
You
her
know?
That's
first.
actually more
What is this, some
dangerous.
vigilante shit? Get help from the fucking
Like a
either your
women's shelter or
family
something.
or a shelter or something.
Social
Like,
workers.
I mean, why? No,
I don't trust
cheating.
him either. I don't trust White Knight guy either. I don't trust. Burn them both.
I'm trying to write a lifetime
true.
movie
What
here.
is his like true
Exactly.
intentions?
Yeah, he's trash too. What's
She's
going
a
on?
vulnerable woman. He's swooping in. No.
He's gonna swoop in on this beaten
Got
down
a hero
bird.
complex.
No, thank you.
That's like
I don't need a savior.
That's weird.
Go to
Yeah.
a shelter.
Now she owes him. No, fuck that. No, I'm just kidding. This is
becoming a
ridiculous.
whole thing. It's becoming a whole thing.
This is ridiculous.
Tune into our
Anyways,
movie.
I'll link my lifetime movie
yes,
below.
this is a lifetime movie for sure. All right, guys. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Visit our sponsors. That's the number one way to support the show. Second way to support the show is just always come back and watch. Leave a
Share with your
comment.
friends.
Comment, talk to us.
Share
in
with
the
your work
comments.
husband.
Yo, send this to the guy that you want to cheat with. Just kidding.
You don't cheat.
No cheating
cheating.
allowed. We're not kidding. That's wrong.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding.
Stop cheating. Stop it.
The only time it's acceptable is if the other party's aware, and then at that point,
That's
it's
not
not
cheating.
anymore.
Yeah.
Cheat codes in
So
video
it's
games.
never acceptable.
Up, down, left, right.
Yeah, Sims one for all the money. Yeah.
Bye.